Why do we always have to be outside? You know you can come to my house. We can stay in my room." Mae opened and closed her mouth. She decided not to try again to explain how indoors they belonged to other people. At least that's how life presented itself to Mae. Indoors, she had to wear black stockings that clung to her legs like spiderwebs, and endure dance instructors who poked at her when her step lagged a beat behind, or her back remained unbending. But she had begun to suspect this wasn't the same for Alice, especially after Alice cut her hair into the shockingly mannish bob so many white women were wearing. Tall and vivacious with skin the color of cooked caramel, Alice strode through the world as if she were a white woman and entitled to every freedom of a black man. Alice's face and hair were not printed on thousands of jars of hair product. Alice could skip coming out for a full year just because she didn't feel like getting dressed for the debutante ball. She had also experienced men. Real men, not the bashful boy, gentleman callers, summoned by a mother and sitting chastely on a sofa. Mae knew for a fact Alice supped on the delights of Wayne Watts, one of the deacons at their Harlem church. Anthony Harris, owner of the Belle Fleur restaurant, and Nicholas King, the very sight of the well-muscled landlord, made women draw breath in anticipation of his body threatening to burst through his clothing at any moment. Mae would listen to Alice's exploits in admiration and naked jealousy. At 18, Alice was already her own woman, while Mae, at 20, doubted she ever would be. So instead, she just asked Alice, "Where have you been?" "I wasn't feeling too well after dinner. Had to make my mama believe I was fine, that it was just something I ate." Mae didn't ask why Alice wasn't feeling well. She didn't care. It only mattered that Alice had made her way to Mae there now, and the feeling of loneliness that often opened up and threatened to swallow Mae whole had closed again. "Come here," Mae whispered. "Lie down." The willow fronds cascaded down around them and shielded them from prying eyes. They pulled their gowns down and lay topless. Their rounded breasts shimmered with sweat and shone like new suns in the rising moonlight. "I heard my daddy playing jazz music in his room this afternoon," Alice said. Mae snorted. "Mama calls it devil music. My mama, too. Why do you think he was listening in his room? She won't allow it in the rest of the house. It sure felt good, though. I heard it coming through my bedroom window. And to think they get to hear music like that in Paris all day long." Mae nodded. Alice loved to talk about Paris, how they should pack steamer trunks, run off to New York City, and board a ship to cross the Atlantic. A few weeks ago, Alice had jumped on top of Mae's bed and held a towel around her naked butt and waist like a sinfully short skirt. "Can you imagine us in Paris, Mae?" She shook her rear in a shivering shimmy. "We would be queens. Josephine Baker would have nothing on us." Mae had pulled a chair over, put her feet up on the bed, and applauded and crowed at Alice's dance. "Oh, yeah, show me some sugar." Alice had squatted low and let her plump, bare breasts bounce against her chest. She stood again and kicked her legs up, one after the other, high into the air. Then she fell backwards and lay spread eagle on the bed laughing. "And you know," she'd added when she had caught her breath, "they're not afraid of blacks in France. People aren't pinned up. None of this, you live in that neighborhood and we'll live in this neighborhood. You can be where you want to be. Keep the whole damn city in your pocket if you want. You'll see, Mae. One day, we'll go to Paris together and you'll see." Now Alice was quiet. Her eyes seemed lost.